print resources have a lot of presence of newspapers in collecting the print resources. Newspapers are at the top of the list in print resources and are easily available in houses and also in institutions and the libraries. Old newspapers can be used for having many activities as well as the current new newspapers. The current newspapers can be used for reading purposes, discussion purposes, and can be used at a higher level where the students would be given the newspaper to read the article, and then one by one they can discuss a point that they think is of an importance. A pyramid discussion can be done by the students in pairs, and each pair can bring an information to the other pair after reading the article. The other pair needs to look at the information that has been given by the first pair and then analyze that information and add to that information. So in that way, a pyramid of information is being built by the pairs, and ultimately we have all the information that the students have collected from the new newspapers in the form of main points being built up by the students in a pyramid form. And then at the end, the final discussion can take place amongst all the pairs, and they collectively decide what is the gist of the discussion that they have done, and by the end of the discussion they can find out the conclusion and write it down after reading the article and discussing in pairs what was the gist or what was the message conveyed in the article. Similarly, in the primary school, old newspapers can be used and the students be asked to look for 3-letter words. And then after they look for 3-letter words, they can just cut them down and then bring them to the teacher to be pasted on a chart paper. These can also be pasted on the board where there is a provision to paste the words. This way the students would be very confident that they know the 3-lettered words. They can cut those 3-lettered words, and while doing that they will learn the word. They will also learn how to pronounce it. The teacher would be there to guide them and supervise them regarding the spelling and the pronunciation of the word, and they would also be very confident that they are able to achieve the target of looking for 3-lettered words and then pasting them on the wall. Also, sometimes there are questions based on the newspaper. For example, whatever word is highlighted in the newspaper in the titles, something related to that word can be questioned by the teacher, and in response to the question, the students look at the word, find out which could be the answer for that, and then they can just select that answer from the newspaper and write the answer on the board or just give the answer in the way that is required. For example, if the teacher finds a word hotel in the newspaper, so she can say a place where people come and stay. So the students have to look for a word which means a place where people come and stay, and then suddenly they find the word hotel in the newspaper, and then they can run to the board and write the word hotel for answering that particular question. So in that way it would be a lot of fun learning. Also, the time limit has to be given by the teacher to look for words, for answers for the questions that she has put based on the newspaper cutting or just the entire sheet of newspaper. So in some cases newspaper cuttings can be used in order to make the activity short, and in case the teacher wants to use the full length of the sheet of the newspaper, she can also base the questions on the full sheet of the newspaper in order to make the students answer the questions, especially at a higher level.